My work is called a Prospectus for a Future Body in the exhibition, and it consists of a series of experiments I make with the body and technology. So to put it simply, it's about this idea of how the body remember and how we can invent technological sort of narrative with the body. Yes. And so the main piece of the work is called Eternal Summer Storm. It's inspired by Tatsumi Hijikata, A Summer Storm. And the whole idea is whether we can have a different way of archiving dance movement. So my suggestion was to use a muscle memory or movement data. So I record this movement data digitally and then I play it back into a different body through electrical nerve stimulation. So the whole project revolved around this idea of this transference of muscle memory, which for me also translate to culture, processes and all that. Yeah. I think actually when I started as to make artwork, I started as a performer. I have like a performance training. So one of the first few technique or dance, if I would say, is encounter is Buto. So, but at that time, what I know is the contemporary Buto, very stylized. So when I discovered Hijikata, I was totally sort of mesmerized, and then I sort of think like, this is the original Buto. And I sort of have for 10 years, I have been very close to this idea. I mean, in terms of looking at how the Asian body should move. Because personally, I look at contemporary dance, it's a mixture of Western Asian, but I always find it strange when the Asian body does ballet, for example. So that's why Buto has this deep sort of memory in my own body as well. That's why I use Buto. Yeah. Actually, it's quite a coincidence because the work I'm showing here, the Prospectus, is actually a first part of a trilogy of work I'm making for over 6 to 7 years now. So in Prospectus, when I started making the work, a lot is by intuition, and then I didn't know that after I make the first work, it has so much more question. Like the idea of when I met just now the audience here, it was saying that what happens to the emotion and the sort of from the dancer, what happens to the emotion, because you are controlling this person and you take away this human element in it. So that was a sort of a question that was asked a lot whenever I show this work. Because in this work, I'm looking at just the body itself and I take away all this emotional or neurological content. So that's why this idea of what is this most original form of body or for me movement. So I thought that sort of fits quite well to the rest or relate to the rest of the work in this exhibition. Yeah. I think as always my work, my practice is when I create a certain idea or scenario or concept, it is about questioning a reality that we normally don't question. So in a way to relook at reality, and in this project specifically to relook at how do we archive dance movement. Is there an alternative way? With technology, is it have other possibility? And this idea of course, when you learn in a classical way, when you learn dance, it's from the masters to the student. So by proposing this idea, it opens up actually more and more questions. Like what does it mean to choreography? What does it mean to dance? And how is it possible that we can sort of have this alternative way of, it's like a capsule to record this intangible data or intangible dance movement across different practice or genre. Yeah, I think that is the question that, one of the main questions in my project for the audience. Yeah.